Hello, Softypapa here from the Softypapa store with a real special treasure from Japan. This is one of my favorites. This solid wooden statue is an image of Daruma-san, as he's called in Japanese, or Bodhidharma. This person was based on a real historical figure who was described as the founder of the Zen sect of Buddhism, which traveled out of India through China, eventually making its way to Japan. There's a Zen temple just down there, and there's another Zen temple right on top of that hill right there. I can hear the gong at 5 o'clock. The priest goes out there and goes gong every 5 minutes. I know it's 5 o'clock. He does it about 5 minutes ahead of the early because he doesn't want to overlap with the 5 o'clock chime that chimes all throughout Japan. Anyway, so Zen is everywhere here in Japan. And anyway, so this solid wooden figure, Yumiko found this, and she found it at an antique store and came charging over to me because she knows I like Daruma so much, and said, "Kurt, I've got a real good one for you." And this one, the reason I like it so much is it's beat up, as any proper Daruma should be well used, because Daruma himself was well used. Look at that. There's no arms and no legs, and that's attributed to the story that Daruma-san spent 7 years, was it in front of a cave, looking at the back wall of a cave, or sitting under a tree, staring out at nothing, in meditation, attempting to achieve enlightenment. And apparently that long 7 years caused his arms and his leg to wither and fall off. So that's why he's illustrated this way. Some Darumas are like a tumble doll. You can knock them over and they'll come back up. Knock them over and they'll come back up. And that comes from the old Japanese idea, I don't know if it's from Japan or elsewhere, that life, it's an old saying, life knocks you down 7 times, but you get up. Life knocks you down 7 times, but you get up 8, right? So a lot of people in Japan will use Daruma-san as a motivation to, persevere. And here's another Daruma. This is also available in the store. This is a little ceramic rattle. And you can see he also is missing the arms and the legs. Some Daruma are missing eyelids too, because it said that Daruma-san, in his frustration at not being able to achieve enlightenment or understand the nature of the universe, I guess, tore off his eyelids and threw them away. And further legend says that those eyelids then sprouted the world's first green tea, which is a stimulant and is used by monks and others to stay awake. Anyway, let's take a closer look at this wonderful statue. Here's Daruma with his scowling countenance. Isn't that something else? Beautiful carving. Lots of little nicks and scratches, nothing major, but evidence of wear here and there. Nice nick right there. It's been scraped around on the surface of a table somewhere. Not a lot to say other than all of that. I'm going to ask my wife to tell me what that says. I'm not sure. Very, very nice little statue. I'll include the reading of that in the description. So it's pretty big too, you can see, and pretty heavy. So the shipping is a little more costly on this one given the size. This is bigger than the items that I usually typically sell. But if you buy more than one item, you can get combined shipping. Now I do want to show you one more. This is not included with the sale. The only item in this sale is just this item here. I'm just showing you these other Daruma by way of illustration of how they're used. This is a paper mache Daruma. See how the eyes are blank? What people will do in Japan is they'll buy these at the start of the year, paint in on one eye to represent the ambition that they have, an ambition, a goal, a dream that they have for the year. If they achieve it by the end of the year, they paint in the other eye, or whenever they achieve it, they paint in the other eye to signify job well done. And then they'll destroy this at the end of the year. So they'll take it to the temple to have it destroyed. These also sometimes, see how they kind of write themselves? These ones, this one doesn't, but it's not meant to do that. And it's also, the bag doesn't help. Anyway, that Daruma aside, and these are for sale in the store too. I only have a limited number of these. The people, the family that made these, they've all died, and the business has gone out of business. I only have like a handful of these remaining. I kept them in their bag because, wow, I mean, this is a lost art, handmade paper mache Daruma. But anyway, that's a separate listing. You can find it elsewhere in my store. 2 sizes. This is it. What a special item. I really like this one. Here's a couple of photos, but I'm just going to say, until someone buys this, I always use the things that I buy, that I sell in my store. They're always on display. Like, for example, that monkey that's holding up my wind chime, that's for sale. This rattle that from a shrine, that's in my store. I always use these items. This bunshin down here that I use for my coffee. I mean, not bunshin. This is a civet. A civet. I'm probably not saying it right. You know, a coaster. There's a proper word for it. That's in my store too. This will probably remain in my store too. I'm probably going to put him right here and let him sit by my little Japanese maple bonsai until someone buys him. Here's those promised photos. Have a great day. And if you want to buy it, you can buy it down in the link down in the description. If it's not there, check the store. There's lots of other things, including other Daruma. Also, lastly, as for age, it's hard to tell. I'm going to put this one probably in the 70s, or maybe earlier, 70s, 80s, something like that. Here's the photos. Keep promising. Here they are.